Before rules, before signs, before licenses, there was chaos on the road. At the turn of the 20th century, America's streets were a free-for-all. There were no age limits for drivers, no stop signs, no traffic lights, no driver's licenses, no posted speed limits, and absolutely no formal training. In this lawless era, even 14-year-old boys were put behind the wheel of delivery trucks, pushed by their bosses to drive faster and get the job done. Streetcars rattled down the middle of busy roads, and without crosswalks, pedestrians, especially children, were in constant danger. Tragically, many kids were hit and killed playing in the streets right outside their homes. By the 1920s, child fatalities had skyrocketed. Nationwide, 60% of auto-related deaths were children under age 9. Some cities tried to respond by setting speed limits as low as 5 miles per hour, just about the pace of a walking horse. But the accidents didn't stop. Public anger boiled over. Drivers were being labeled as remorseless murderers in local newspapers. In several cities, mobs began dragging reckless drivers from their cars and beating them in the streets. One case that shook Detroit involved a young man named John Harrigan, wealthy, 26 years old, driving drunk. He hit and killed a city street worker. Harrigan was convicted of manslaughter and then marched through the city in handcuffs during the 1922 Safety Parade. These safety parades became emotional events. Crashed cars were hauled down the street. Crippled children rode in open vehicles, waving at the crowds, serving as living reminders of the toll. Change began slowly. In 1915, Detroit installed the first U.S. stop sign. By 1922, the country had its first electric traffic light. And by the mid-1920s, a national approach to road safety was forming, led by future President Herbert Hoover. Carmakers also stepped up, adding brake lights, safety glass, turn signals, and standard headlights. By the 1930s, driver's education programs were emerging. States began requiring license and written exams. The anything-goes mentality was finally giving way to structure. In the 1940s, high-tech, for the time, driver simulators entered classrooms. These were small, car-like machines that played films and recorded student reactions to road scenarios. And by the 1950s and 60s, nearly every American high school offered driver's ed. Today's driving laws, age requirements, licensing tests, traffic lights were born out of a time when tragedy forced action. The road you drive on today, it was paved not just with asphalt, but with lessons learned the hard way.